There's a trend happening right now that starts off sounding like self-love, but once you actually hear what people are bragging about, it starts revealing something much more disturbing than that.
Things I think people would be jealous of me for having. Have a huge butt and a tiny waist naturally.
Low-key have always had an hourglass build since I was a child. Sorry.
Yeah. And today, a lot of the things people are flexing about have a lot to do with their sexcapades and how flexible they actually are.
These are things that I think people would be jealous that I have. I can finish from pen only, front door, and back.
I can twerk really well.
Yeah. Now, within all of this, of course, the collective side-eye from the internet is gonna be very loud, and it's sparking a huge debate on whether this is empowering self-love, satire, or just another way to make sure another woman is beneath you.
I don't like that recently. It's been more and more common to disguise egotistical behavior and narcissistic behavior as self-love and confidence, especially with trends like things you would be jealous of me for.
We are watching a literal biological competition, almost like a ranking system to be the superior woman, and it's being turned into a trend and something we're supposed to be jealous of.
I literally have the perfect amount of arm hair for a woman. It's like, it slicks down like a newborn baby's placenta perm, and it's so sexy.
And you know, I'm starting to think that this is a lot more than just jealousy. We're watching people rank very specific traits like they're trying to win a prize. So I think instead of being jealous of what somebody else has, I'd rather step away and understand the roots of myself. I partnered with MyHeritage to see what my looks are made up of beyond appearances, because in a world that can be very fixated on perfecting our looks, we don't even know where our looks come from in the first place. So I got curious and I took a DNA test. MyHeritage offers a simple, quick DNA test. It's literally just a cheek swab and takes 2 minutes, and I was on the edge of my seat waiting for these results because I know I'm Black, obviously, but what am I really made up of? Could I have roots in Africa, maybe some of the Caribbean? Okay, so with my results on screen, I am a whopping 83.7% Nigerian. We have 6.5% Central African, 5.7% West African, 3% Portuguese, and 1.1% Egyptian. That is so cool. Now, this is my first time taking a DNA test, and it's so crazy how they can break down exactly where I'm from my nationality to my origins. It also connects you to relatives you didn't even know existed. Like, I see a first cousin I've never met with a 14.5% match. And then there's the ancient origins feature. It traces your background back thousands of years. So now you're not just looking at yourself like, this is me. Now you're actually seeing the full you. And I know some of you are probably wondering about this part, but they do state in their privacy policy that they do not sell or license your genetic data. With my code JD19, you can get the DNA kit for $19 right now. You can also get a 30-day trial just to explore everything and learn more about yourself. You can use my link below or scan the QR code on screen and use my code at checkout. Welcome to the Girl Talk you didn't know you needed. Now, I'm not saying you have to subscribe. You're classy. I know you don't just give those away for free, but hopefully at the end of this video, we become bestie enough for you to take that next step. We're in for a wild conversation today, so I hope you have your snacks, but also be prepared to cringe a lot. Now, while our DNA can tell us where we're from, it's the world around us that spends every second telling us who we're supposed to be. And this things you'd be jealous of trend, yes, it's abrupt, but it didn't just spawn out of nowhere. You see, long before we had social media trends, we had an even more assertive, much more direct set of rules. There was a system built around telling women that everything they did naturally was wrong. They literally told you to your face that everything you did, thought, or felt was wrong until taught right.
Hello. They're charming, aren't they? Or if they're not, they jolly soon ought to be, because they're students at a London charm school.
And I think we really stopped
trying to improve the pupils' appearance. I think as soon as we get them conscious that they're wrong in everything that they do, that is with their makeup and their hair, and as soon as we start getting them right, then I think charm begins to, develop.
What qualifications, Mrs. Estelle, does one need to teach other people to be charming?
Well, infinite patience to start with.
And you wonder why patience was her top answer? Infinite at that. And maybe, just maybe, it's because you're fighting against human nature. But anyways, just hear how this woman who went to charm school describes the view from the top of being the only one out of her circle that finally got it right.
Mrs. Leeson, you've taken this charm course and passed out on it.
Yes.
So now you're charming.
Thank you. I think that your charm can develop, if you have any.
Have your friends noticed any difference?
Oh, yes, I'm the envy of my little circle that think I should have taken such a bold step, which indeed it was.
This is a message that women for decades have been absorbing, a very specific blueprint of what a lady is supposed to look, act, and be like. And more importantly, what makes her valuable enough to be picked out from the rest.
Beauty is drawn across the threshold of a Hampstead studio when rumour whispers that Nicholas Egon, painter of Greek royalty, is in search of the perfect woman. Perfect hair, perfect eyes, perfection in every detail. The quest on which he has embarked might have come straight from a storybook.
Back in the day, the instruction manual to be a woman was a highly specific, almost clinical checklist, and the undisclosed threat was always there.
If you try, really try, you can root out the poor, accidental habits and establish in their place the good habits approved by custom, accepted by society.
Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with teaching women how to be functioning citizens in a world that doesn't slow down for anyone. There's great value in learning structure and maintaining a level of discipline in your space. They taught women that their raw, unaltered self was something that needed to be edited, polished, and changed, convincing them that just being a wife that's by her husband's side isn't enough. It was like they were basically incomplete until they earned that next rank.
Look at that beatnik girl. She's passing a Mayfair beauty parlor where smart, chic women pretty themselves up. Go on, see what they can make of you. You look as if you could do with a good square meal as well as a wash and brush up. This is what film stars and fine girls about town go through daily at great expense to convince the world that they really are beautiful. It's a hard, hard life. It's hard to remember what this girl looked like when we persuaded her to look in.
And the media made sure you never forgot it, pushing these standards through everyday beauty commercials, magazines, and celebrity culture, telling you that even the very air around you had to have a certain aura, and they were constantly pushing the idea that no woman was complete without it.
Cream sachet. Just smooth it on your skin. The cream disappears, leaving a lovely, lingering scent. No costume, no woman is complete without it. For fragrance, selected with care and worn with grace, is the very essence of being a woman.
And for decades, women chased the very things society told them they were lacking. Well, of course, they had to keep up or fall behind. But of course, they forgot to mention what happens after you power up. Here's the trap. The moment you finally finish changing your appearance, you're hit with a complete contradiction. You have to make sure that massive transformation you were molded, basically forced into, looks like a complete accident. Because trying way too hard to be interesting is the quickest way to throw all that hard work away.
Cultivate a relaxed, pleasant voice. Speak correct English. Don't talk too much or too loud. Sometimes it doesn't go over too well, and for good reasons. And keep in mind, listening is often more appreciated than talking. Don't talk with your hands. You look much better this way. And all the makeup in the world couldn't make up for this sort of thing.
Now, once you learned how to control your mouth to their standards, of course, you had to match that to your actions. And these etiquette classes, charm schools, and finishing schools were the one place that left zero room to breathe. Even the way you sat down was a test.
Now, girls, I'd like you to sit down, please. I just want to see how you sit. Now, that is wrong, you see, to start with. You must, when you sit, get well to the back of the chair. Get your hips really at the back. You see, that will support the spine, and then, of course, feet.
I don't know, y'all. It kind of sounds like nitpicking to me, because what do you mean I sat down wrong because my butt wasn't touching the back of the chair? Back then, you had to look completely effortless even if you were under a ton of stress, because true etiquette demanded absolute control over everything while also shutting down your natural impulses before they can do what they naturally do.
Control. Control of your emotions. Control of your physical appetites. And control of your sense of what's right and what's wrong.
Now, you know what? That lady was wrong for trying to take that woman's money. But on the contrary, it begs a question. How come we as women have to suppress the very emotions that everybody else is allowed to have? How come we can't even try to unwind without society calling a moment of letting loose dangerous?
And this is where the momentum becomes dangerous. One relaxing drink calls for another, until that moderate amount becomes too much.
Now, I don't know about 4 drinks turning into a cigarette, but according to them, she crossed the point of no return. But the real point of no return happens when the act of keeping it all together finally breaks you from the inside out. And while you may be able to hide that stress from other people, it's not so easy to hide it from your actual body itself. Once your physical nerves took over, you realized your biggest enemy isn't a loud mouth. No, it's your own biology.
Sweat. Your body gives off about a pint of it every day. You know what it's like to be near someone who doesn't bathe very often. Being clean is part of keeping your body and skin healthy and attractive.
Now, I want to quickly preference this, okay? Hygiene is important, okay? And me bringing up these etiquette videos isn't me saying that we need to protest the patriarchy with our stench. But the harsh reality of these essential expectations is the second you slip up, the second the people around you notice, you're immediately the example of what is considered lower on the pyramid. They may not say it, but you instantly become the cautionary tale for what not to do. You become the exact person they use to lift themselves up and put you and your lingering scent at the bottom of the tier.
I change my underthings every day. Clothing that's against your skin picks up a lot of perspiration. I guess you all know what it's like being near someone who doesn't change as often as she should.
Valid advice, don't get me wrong, but using the dirty girl as your stepping stool, you see what I'm trying to put down, and this is the exact reason why we go into the history, because the messaging is very subtle, but it all stems from that old school checklist. And if you check all those boxes, you meet the standard required to even be in the running. Fail the upkeep and your quality of appearance tanks.
By following these simple rules of body care and grooming, you too will achieve that quality of appearance, that feeling of well-being, so important to make your dreams of happiness come true.
Now, while those vintage black and white clips feel like a completely different world, that deeply rooted belief never actually went away. Which brings us right back to the internet today, where we think we're looking at something brand new, but trust me, social media just took that conditioning and turned it into a trend. And that's where the things you'd be jealous of me for trend comes in. And I'm not gonna play you video by video. No, it's a lot more systematic than that. We're gonna go trait by trait, from how they claim they look to how they claim they function. YouTube, please don't demonetize this video. We're gonna call this first segment the genetic draft. Because in this category, your body is the prize and your measurements are the qualifications.
Things I think people would be jealous of me for having. I have a huge butt and a tiny waist naturally. My measurements are 41-inch hips and 27 waist.
This is a reoccurring trait a lot of people partaking in this trend are saying others may be jealous of them for. And okay, a small waist is something a lot of people are jealous of. But the way they come online and broadcast their measurements, it's just a bizarre way to seek validation.
My waist is 22 inches, 23 inches on a bloated day, but 22 inches on a regular.
Okay, we get it. Your waist is teeny. Congratulations. But of course, that's not where the standard stops. Y'all know, as a woman, maybe speaking to another woman, our chest, that can be a very sensitive topic for many reasons. No woman can snap her fingers and have the best set on the block. We're just born with what we got. And this trend has made it so that even the most microscopic details should be a bragging right.
I never have to wear a bra. Why? Because I have an A cup and I got inverted nipples, meaning my headlights are never on unless it's like freezing cold, and I'm talking like 20 degrees.
When you tell the internet that people should be envious of how your headlights are never on, I don't understand the flex here. Our most normal physical traits are being turned into a competitive sport where having things like inverted, you know what, is something to brag about. And if they aren't also defying gravity, it's like you got the short end of the stick.
Okay, saw this one girl do this of like things you would be jealous of me for. So I'm gonna do it. My naturally sit up. Like they don't have any like sag to them. I don't know. Like I'm not wearing a bra right now. And
now, we can't put the full blame on the women partaking in this trend because, like we said earlier, it's conditioned that we're supposed to be shaped and built a certain way to be considered ideal. And in a world where plastic surgery and procedures are normalized, we also can't be surprised when people start flexing that their bodies are natural too.
Things that I think people would be jealous of me for. First of all, my hair is real. Also real.
Here's some things I feel like you might be jealous of me for. People have DM'd me like what I asked my injector for. It's 100% natural. Yeah, I hope I didn't make you guys too jealous because I'm clearly God's favorite.
But now, there are claims that I believe are being taken a bit too far. Because this trend has created a space where people are now saying out loud that certain bodies are just better. And that can spiral into something so dark.
Okay, these are things I think people would be jealous of me for having. I have, in my opinion, a perfect body. I have a naturally small waist and a naturally big butt. I never have to wear a bra because I have like C cups.
Sure. Self-love is everything. And she did say that that was her opinion, and I respect that. But what I don't respect is how we've been programmed to believe what a perfect body is, what the perfect body shape is, and how it's supposed to be a big butt and small waist. This is why we have people dying to be thin, dying under the knife to have what you would call a perfect body, instead of just looking at their own body and feeling perfect no matter their measurements. And I know it's easier said than done, but we have people getting procedures to look like they just came out the womb because on the contrary, it's bragging rights to look like your daughter's sister.
I have one 4-year-old daughter and I always get mistaken as her older sister.
30 and don't have a single wrinkle.
I'm 27 years old and I feel like I look like 21, 22.
And don't get me started on how our skin cells are being targeted too. Having no acne can now get you one spot higher on that pyramid, when in reality, it's something that shouldn't even be a flex. A lot of the time, it's just genetics and a good diet.
Okay, I'm gonna do things that I have that I think people would be like jealous of. I kind of just have auto clear skin. Like I've never had any issues with acne or anything, and I don't do anything to it. Like I don't really have a skincare routine that I do.
Things I think people would be jealous of me having. I've never had acne.
And to end the genetic draft off with a bang, something that I never thought in my 24 years of living that someone would be bragging about, but here we are.
I'm obsessed with this trend, so here are some things that I think other girls would be jealous of me for having. 1, I have pretty feet. Of all of my toenails, including both pinky toenails, also my toes go down in a really even slope.
And I have back dimples. I have back dimples and I have pretty feet. I have pretty little feet.
I can't make this up, but what we can do is move on and quickly. The Climate Control Chronicles. Bragging about how your body looks, it's not out the ordinary, but it has nothing on bragging and flexing about how the body functions.
I'm gonna do what I think people would be jealous of me having. I barely sweat. I barely sweat. Like, I don't really sweat through shirts or anything.
It's almost like an extension of that same mentality towards hygiene in the past, but it looks and sounds different today. It's now just people coming online and bragging about how their body doesn't do the very things everyone else's glands are supposed to do.
Let me tell you things you would be jealous of me for. I can't sweat. You can put me in a sauna. You can put me in a 4-quarter basketball game. I will not sweat.
While sweating is natural and normal, having body odor can be another thing. And people shouldn't brag because they smell cleaner than the next. It's definitely giving mean girl. But it's interesting to me that instead of just keeping clean and quiet, it almost turns into the clean girl Olympics. And being clean, that can be a God-given gift to anyone. Just go take a bath. Not everyone has that privilege though, and I understand that. But being clean is something that everybody can do if they wanted to. So it shouldn't be a way to rank your genetics.
Also, didn't get the body odor gene. Ever get like armpit sweat patches?
I don't smell, like, ever. I have that one gene where I do not stink, ever.
But enough of ranking what comes out of the skin. Everybody get your magnifying glasses so we can compare the skin itself. We're moving on to the texture inspectors, scrutinizing every single pore. I'm talking about the really small details like not getting ingrown hairs.
I never get ingrown hairs down there.
Not having razor bumps.
I don't have a single razor bump on my body, y'all. I don't. And I be shaving any kind of way. I do. I'm not gonna lie.
And body hair. Everyone has it. And for a lot of women, we can be honest with each other, it's not ideal to have a large amount of it. But when it comes to our arms, something that I believe is not that deep at all, they can be considered sexy for having little to no hair at all.
I literally have the perfect amount of arm hair for a woman. It's like, it slicks down like a newborn baby's placenta perm. That's how good my arm hair is. And it's so sexy.
And you want to know what I think is the cherry on top? It's that she says she has the perfect amount of arm hair for a woman. Can you show us what that is? I don't even look at my arms enough for me to be able to brag about them. You know what I'm saying? Arm hair is something we cannot escape, especially since when you shave it, it comes back even stronger. But hey, at least you can be like these women who claim they don't even have to touch their body hair. They just flex their lighter genes.
Things I think people would be jealous of me for. My body hair is blonde, which means that I could literally not shave for 10 years and nobody would be able to notice, to be honest.
My arm and leg hair is bleach blonde. My other body hair is not, but my arm hair and my leg hair is just bleach blonde. You can't really see it.
I've said enough. Now, this wouldn't be a trend where women brag about their biology to other women if we didn't tap into the one thing every woman shares. The one thing that I think no one, and I mean no one, should think they're better for. You know the phrase, we all bleed red? Well, I draw the line at you bragging that bleeding only lasts for one day.
My period is 1 day long, truly 1 day. Like by day 2, it's brown. By the end of the day, it's gone. 1 day long period.
Like, is that even enough time for our uterus to shed the lining? You're bragging about something that you might have to go talk to your gynecologist about, babe. But I digress. We're in the internal operations segment. Your body, your waistline, your non-existent sweat, those were just the starters. No, people's intestines are getting their bragging rights too. How many times do you poop a day? Okay, yeah, It's off the wall, but I'm asking you it for a valid reason. Because going multiple times a day sets you up to be the person everyone apparently envies.
I'm gonna do things that I think other people would be jealous of me for having. I poop every single day, several times a day. I am very regular. It's like clockwork.
At this point, this is just one big oversharing party. And I don't know how poop got in the mix. I guess it's a pretty sensitive topic for people and also qualifies as the ultimate flex.
I do 2 poops every single day, every 12 hours, 10 a.m., 10 p.m. 90% of those poops are one wipers.
Even the comments read, actually, I envy the 2 poops a day. This is a hilarious way to flex, but as we move into the hidden details, I'm going to warn all of you, it's cringe. It's very cringe, and it's the lowest of low. Now the next face you'll see, she's pretty familiar. And what she says she thinks people would be jealous of her for has to do with her nether regions.
I have a beauty mark above my lips, and I'm not talking about the lips on my face.
Now, the fact that someone can come online and brag about stuff like this is insane to me, but it gets worse. It gets so much worse. We're literally at the point where women are using the adult film industry as a benchmark for what their body parts should look like.
My literally looks like a porn star's, like any really cute shape color, like it's pretty cute.
And I swear I don't think I've ever heard anything so toxic. According to the internet and society, we already have enough body parts to feel insecure about, and adult films use lighting, angles, and literal surgery to create a very specific, unrealistic look for the audience. And setting that as a baseline, even if you're proud of how it looks, that's okay. But setting that as a baseline, it's not only unhinged and a bit inappropriate, but it turns a deeply intimate part of being a woman into a competitive metric, and I don't like that.
I have a pink innie and a pink beehole.
That moves us on to our last segment, the performance evaluation. Obviously, bragging about how great you perform in the bedroom is the new humble brag.
Not to brag, but I can from solely only.
I can finish from only front door and back.
And I can reach the big O from just peeing and vagine every time.
I know. I'm sorry I put you through that. And the crazy thing is, normally I become desensitized to the things that I research and the videos that I watch until y'all remind me in the comments how insane it is. But that video, no matter how many times I listen to it, it's bad. I cringe every time. Why are we bragging about sexual encounters?
All of my adult boyfriends have made me
This sounds like a teenager bragging about something that never happened just to impress their friends. It's like a look at me performance where you have to prove you're worth something by how much of a good time you are.
I can twerk really, really well.
I can twerk really well. I would say really well. And I can throw it in a circle.
We wouldn't be right if we didn't look at the opposite extreme. There's nothing wrong with celibacy and protecting your peace, but nothing grinds my gears more than when someone uses their own personal choice and their journey as a moral high ground.
I've been seeing this trend everywhere and I knew I had to hop on it, so here are some reasons why I think you should be jealous of me. I still have my V card.
I think we've had enough. And social media has too. Within all of these people trying to make other people jealous with their traits, you already know the internet is not letting it slide. And how could they? When in reality, these women are just trying to come online and give themselves a confidence boost with things that a lot of other women don't even care about.
I just saw a girl come up on my FYP saying things that people would be jealous of me for. She said, because it's pink and I have an innie belly button. One, nobody's jealous. Trust me, nobody's jealous. I can promise you that. And two, it's giving vain. It's definitely giving some sort of something going on in the brain. Because, like, what provokes you to say that?
And actually hearing somebody come online and say, here are things I think you'd be jealous of me for. 1, I have the smallest waist in the world. 2, my anatomy looks like an adult film star's. And 3, my V card is still intact. Like, no one wants to hear that.
Am I the only one who finds that whole trend of These are some things you guys would probably be jealous of me for. Really, really weird. What exactly is the point of videos like that? Genuine question. And before some of y'all say, maybe you don't have anything people would be jealous of. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. That's the whole point. Why am I putting random things out there that girls have to be jealous of me for? Oh my god, I'm so amazing.
And I was actually shocked to see that not a lot of people were against this trend. I'm not seeing too many think pieces on it or people calling it out for being toxic, but something about this trend is different. It gives people the chance to feel superior, even if they're not actually saying it out loud. They call it self-love, but they can't help but feel kind of weird at the fact that they're even participating in it.
Okay, okay, I feel so awkward doing this, but these are things I think people would be jealous of me for. I feel a little bit wrong doing this, but at the same time, self-love, confidence, frick, I'm on board.
They can't help but feel like something is off about this trend because, yeah, it could be humble bragging, but I think the word that throws everybody off is jealous. Because why do we have to be jealous that you have a pink any belly button? On top of that, something you were born with. And I came across a girl doing this trend and she acknowledges that the wording of the trend is wrong. So she frames it as things she loves about herself.
Doing the things I think people would be jealous of me for trend, but I hate that phrasing, so I'm gonna say things that I love for me.
Deep down, everyone has traits that they love about themselves, but the overall takeaway is that these traits we're seeing today are things a lot of women, one, can't control, and two, have been controlled to think is desirable, mainly by a man. And now there's this tension between confidence and slight superiority. Because, hey, I don't want to brag, but you might be jealous of me because I don't have armpit hair.
There's this trend where people are saying things that other people would be jealous of. And I really don't want to brag. It's totally not in my nature. You could choose not to like me after this. But my single thing is I don't have armpit hair.
I can't control how people express their confidence online, and as we've all seen, it can get pretty intense. But y'all know I'm always thinking about how this can affect the next. And by the next, I mean the upcoming, the impressionable, the young girls who now may think, if my parts don't look like stars, I'm not doing something right.
Can we please stop with the whole trend, which is like, here are qualities that I have that people should be jealous of me for. Like, it's a weird trend. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's weird. Like, why are we listing out qualities and being like, yeah, if you don't have these, you should be jealous? Like, it's just such a weird concept to me. I'm just thinking about the poor little young girls who are seeing these videos, and like, if they don't have those qualities that are like desirable that they should be jealous of, that's just gonna make them insecure.
Social media has made us hyper aware of microscopic flaws that a lot of people shouldn't even notice. For example, like I said, I never look at my arm hair, but old girl said she had the perfect, sexiest amount for a woman, so where does that leave me? You can scroll online and suddenly there's 10 new things you need to fix and be insecure about.
Come with me to get my elbow pit brightened. Can we normalize short thumbs? This is what to do if you have a crooked labia. My x-rays are so ugly. Let's go get my knuckles shaved down. Does anyone know how to get rid of these ugly blue lines in my wrist? Didn't realize how long my tibias were until I saw Alex Earls. There's no attractive way to turn around.
But please remember that you do not owe the internet perfection. You don't need to fix parts of yourself that aren't broken. And you definitely don't need to participate in this imaginary ranking system where people are using their genetics to feel superior. Thank you for tuning into the Girl Talk you didn't know you needed. If you enjoyed this chat, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. Why am I forgetting? You know what? Do whatever classy people like you do before heading to the next video. Also, don't forget to use the link below, scan the QR code on screen to get your DNA kit for $19. Bye!